Yo guys, what is going on? Insanity coming back at you today with some more Division content, and right now I really wanted to go ahead and focus on what I believe is the most highly requested feature for the Division to try and make things a little bit smoother when you're trying to traverse the land and try and take on enemies and PvP in the world of the Division. Are we getting it in 1.6? God, I hope so. Alright guys, we all know that loadouts have been one of the most requested features as long as we can remember in the Division. I would definitely have to say back to the days of 1.2 and even 1.3 when we could still do the police backpack and medical backpack abilities to try and make it so you could have extra medkits and the additional ammo, switch back to your original gear and have all those additional items in your inventory. Sure, we can't do that anymore. That's been taken away with update 1.4 and that's totally fine. But the need for loadouts is still there, and it needs to be something that we can do in a way that it's seamless, it's easy, and it's really fast, so that whenever you're running around in the situations like the Dark Zone, you're PvPing, or if you're going through a really intense PvE experience, you're not going to be taken out, and you have an opportunity to try and protect yourself in a way that is definitely needed. Because if you're going up someone that has a lot of fire, or if you're doing PvP and they got Fire Crest or Alpha Bridge, you should have an opportunity to make it so that you have a much more balanced fight. Now, the idea of trying to take on someone that's got, like in my case, 485 toughness, if I'm taking on someone that's got 500,000 toughness, they should be able to edge me out in a gunfight without just by that much, by having that little bit of extra toughness, and that's fine. Unless my firearms can beat theirs, then I should be able to take them down faster, but trying to balance that with armor mitigation and everything else is a complete mess. We'll get to that later. Now, when it comes to your loadout, how in the world are you going to make it so that you can try and get into a gunfight, see what's going on, change your loadout on the fly, not have to go through a menu that is going to completely take you out of combat, so that you can try and protect yourself a lot faster? Well, we have this lovely thing called the D-pad, and we use it for things such as medkits and special ammo types and different gestures and emoticons like jumping jacks and clapping, which pisses people off in the Dark Zone, which is totally fine. But we still have more of an opportunity to change that. We still have up on the D-pad, and it would still give people freedom to roam around the Dark Zone, run around, do what they need to do, staying protected because they get full view of the entire world and see what's around them. But when you hold up on that D-pad, you use the right joystick, just like you would selecting special ammo or a grenade or whatever, except it would have 4 or 8 totally customizable selectable slots where you can say, you know what, up will be slot number 1, left will be slot number 2, down will be slot number 3, and right will be slot number 4. Or you can even have it set up so that you could have 8 total slots by doing the diagonal directions as well. But here's the kicker. You would have it set up so that when you're going through your inventory, you can say, okay, slot number 1, inventory weapon, slot 1, slot 2, my sidearm. Build out that entire build with all of your chest piece, your knee pads, your vest, your knee pads, all of the stuff that you need, so that if you wanted a name build, you can have that in slot number 1. If you want an Alpha Bridge build, you can have it in slot number 2. A Hunter's Faith in slot number 3, and a Fire Crest in slot number 4, and all you would have to do is simply select it on the D-pad. But here's the kicker. To try and keep things balanced, we shouldn't allow people to be able to select different loadouts on the fly once they're in combat, because once you start an engagement, you should already be preset into a situation where if you have a build, your toughness is at 485, if you automatically switch to something that's going to give you like 600,000 toughness in the middle of an engagement, it completely changes the way the entire fight goes. Anyways, guys, sound off in the comments down below. What do you think of my loadouts idea? I really hope this thing becomes true and is something that becomes a feature in the game. Like if you haven't, sub if you're new, and I'll see you again soon.